Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the very first time if you're new here. My name is Rita, and today we're gonna be taking a look at my vanity and makeup storage. I've been doing for the past, I don't know, probably since the beginning of the year, slowly posting a little bit of kind of like, I call them mini declutters and collections. So I've been going by category, sort of like foundations, concealers, primers, all that good stuff. Probably by that time this video is up, I haven't released all of the videos just yet. But I wanted to do this video because I don't know also if I've mentioned this before or this is gonna be the first time I mention it, but we are nearly moving in. Maybe by the time you watch this video, we've already moved out of this apartment. We are very blessed to be buying our very first home, so we are super excited. So I wanted to film this video before we moved into the new house because I don't know what I'm gonna do with my makeup room, filming room over in that house. I'm gonna have more space. So because of that, I wanted to film before we left. So I am getting ready to pack all my makeup and put it away before the big move. So we are going to do today what I've never been, I don't think I've ever showed you how I actually store my makeup. So mainly I have my vanity, which is behind me. It's a beautiful antique gold furniture that I got a little while ago in an antique store. And then I have the basic IKEA 5-drawer cabinet. So I'll show you everything that's in there and in my vanity. So anyway, before I get into the video, I would really appreciate it if you decide to subscribe. It is super easy. Just hit this little red button and be also sure to hit the little bell so you get notified every time that I post. I'm gonna try my best to show you how the full section of my vanity is, but it is very limited space because I have my vanity and storage sitting literally next to my bed and my nightstand, so there's not a lot of space there. Okay, so whenever you see my vanity, the first thing you see is going to be this painting that you've probably seen this much whenever I'm filming. It is the background of my videos. It is sitting on top of my vanity. So this is actually painted by my dad. My dad is a painter and a writer. So this specific painting came as an inspiration from a short story he wrote, and the painting is named, or is called, Monica on Her Wedding Day. So anyway, this is going to be what you see on top of my vanity. I'm gonna try to move the camera slowly, as slow as I can. So kind of like so you get an idea. That's the top of my vanity, and then that's the painting. Okay, so now let's move on a little bit down. I'm trying not to be shaky here. I have the camera on a tripod. Okay, so here is my vanity. This is going to be a beautiful antique piece that I got a very long time ago, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. I bought it at the now forever closed, which makes me very sad, antique mall in Houston called Thompson's. So it was a huge antique mall that I absolutely loved, and this is, I believe this was the first and maybe only piece of furniture that I bought from that store, but it was just a beautiful place to visit. That was Lucy behind us, sorry about that. So yeah, I bought this piece of furniture and it comes with a chair, you can tell right here, and I believe this is considered like a writing desk, but whenever I saw it I just fell in love. I love gold accents, furniture, jewelry, like it's my favorite accent color, so naturally whenever I saw it I knew I had to get it. So anyway, whenever you see the furniture, it just has like the actual tabletop, I guess you would call it, and then it has 2 little doors, I don't know how really you would call them, on each side. I'll show you a little bit better what I store in them, but like they're side to side. On the very top I like to keep my Forever roses that Michael gave me at this point 2 years ago. I have one from every year since 2018. So these ones I believe were from 2020. Yeah, I got this in 2020, and then I just always have them in here. I love them, and they serve like a beautiful piece of decoration, but also they're just absolutely stunning. Roses are my favorite flowers. And then I'm gonna move to this side. On the middle, I keep this letter holder, so it's just kind of like something that I got from Target, and it's really for just holding letters, but I use it to hold some of my larger palettes, like the Tati one. And then in general, palettes that I like to rotate, these are the ones that I've been using lately. And then I have my 2 cruelty-free perfumes and then a couple of lipsticks. I'll probably move you a little bit closer. Keep on the top my palettes. Whoops, I almost dropped them. So here is some favorites and some that I just keep, like the Tati, because it is very big and there's really no more space for me to store it. So that's kind of like the perfect spot. And then I have my perfumes, my only 2 cruelty-free, which I absolutely love. Whoop, this is the 7 Virtues Centel Vanille, and then by Nest we've got Wild Poppy. And then in the center I have a Victoria Beckham lipstick. This is the only one that I have, and since it is kind of like very sleek packaging, this is kind of like the best place to store it. And then on the very front, and will always be kind of like my very pride and joy, because this was the very first makeup brand that sent me product, which is Merit Beauty. So I am very proud of that, and I love having them here in display. I have 2 lipsticks that they sent over, so they'll live forever on display on my vanity. And then to the side here I have my full collection of Lisa Eldridge lipsticks and a little refill from Charlotte Tilbury. But yeah, Lisa Eldridge and Charlotte Tilbury, and this one's from Merit, are my favorite lipsticks. So I do have here almost all of the lipsticks Lisa has released, with the exception maybe like of 2 of them, or 3 the most. On the bottom here I have a beautiful antique tray, also gold, that I got in East Texas when we were living in East Texas. I just love it. It fits 5 lipsticks here, and then there's like tiny little openings here, but nothing really fits, so I have them empty. So I have 5 lipsticks from Charlotte Tilbury. I've got a Merit lip oil, which is my absolute favorite, a Marc Jacobs lipstick, a Rare Beauty, and then a Besame lipstick. And then because of like size wise, I also keep my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer here, and also, I mean, of course it's absolutely beautiful to have on display. And then another beautiful compact is this Besame powder. I love to display it, so it's gonna be just sitting there. And then on the back I have another one of these clear plastic lipstick holders, and here I have a variety between Charlotte Tilbury, the majority of them, as you can probably tell, and then a Lisa Eldridge, 2 of those, and then a Besame lipstick. And then lastly, on the very back of the top of my vanity, I keep a little, I don't know, a little thing to store my beauty blender. And then I have also a little storage thing. I think this was like a candle stuff. And then I just have lip liners and a few of this ColourPop lipsticks. So that's where that lives. Move on to this section, which is, I'm not gonna go through any of this, but this is where I keep my foundations and a few primers that are a little bit bigger that don't really fit where I have my other primers. But yeah, here's all of my foundations, skin tints, all of that good stuff. Bases live here. That's where I always store them, and I just love them. If you see a few items here and there that are not cruelty-free, if you didn't know it, I did switch to cruelty-free makeup around a year and a half ago. So all of the makeup that I buy, talk about, and recommend since then, it's cruelty-free. But I haven't fully gotten rid of all of my non-cruelty-free makeup. I think that would just be a waste. I have been decluttering, as you can, see in the videos that I've posted, little by little, but not really because they're cruelty-free or not, just because if I use them or I don't like them anymore, then I declutter. But since a year and a half ago, I haven't bought anything that's not cruelty-free. Okay, moving on. On the other section that also has this little opening right here, I keep my makeup brushes, more brushes on the back, and then my face spray. So this is going to be the most beautiful drawer, including my storage unit. So whenever you look at the vanity, this is the top, and then you have one big drawer in the vanity. So let's open it up so you can see how stunning this is. So this is where I store all of my eyeshadows. So either individual, potted, quads, big palettes, with the exception of the ones that I show you that are living on top of the vanity. displayed, this is everything that I have. Again, I'm not gonna go through everything because that's literally gonna take us hours just to look at all these palettes. I do have an upcoming eyeshadow palette declutter and collection. I don't think it's going to be first than this. This video is gonna go up first. But yeah, just so you can see kind of like what I have. Everything is here. You can probably identify some non-cruelty free brands. I do not recommend. Please don't buy them. If you can, switch to cruelty free. These are old palettes that I don't no longer buy or support the brands, but they're still here because I would, you know, I don't want to just toss them in the trash because they're not cruelty free. But yeah, here is all of my collection. I don't think I'm gonna be doing a eyeshadow palette collection anytime soon. Probably will be the last video that I showcase on this whole collection declutter series that I've been doing. So on top of my IKEA 5-drawer cabinet, I do have my record player, and I have a vase that we got on our honeymoon in Florida at a flea market. I absolutely love it. It's very, very stunning. And then of course next to it we've got a candle burning because very old school YouTube. Now let's move on with the actual cabinet. So on the very corner you can see that I have my my records. I like to keep them there standing next to my vanity or next to my storage unit, since I do have my record player right here. So let's look at the very first drawer, which is honestly very pretty because it's very colorful. So here we have all of my lipsticks are stored on the very top drawer. I'm gonna move this mirror. I've got this little handheld mirror from Too Faced. So on the very back I have one of these little plastic containers with a mix of mini lipsticks, mini lip glosses, and just regular lip balms. So I have that back there, just literally a mix of everything and anything that's little. And then in front of that, I do keep the same acrylic container, but with lip glosses. And to be someone who doesn't use a lot of lip gloss or use it a lot, I have a lot of them. So that is something that I have to declutter. I haven't decluttered my lipsticks by the time I'm filming this video, so that is something that I have to do, but that is honestly a task that I've been avoiding because I love lipsticks and I know it's gonna be a hard video to film and actually do declutter. Okay, so let me open it again. On the very back there I have another little mirror, or a couple of mirrors, and then some random drugstore lipsticks that I know I can just tell by looking at that. A couple of those have to go because they're definitely expired. And then right here I have my MAC collection, which again, please do not buy. I do not support MAC in any way, but these are very, very old. MAC was the very first brand that I started buying lipsticks that were more expensive, like high-end lipsticks. So it is a little kind of like more of a sentimental reason why I still keep them. A lot of these formulas I don't even like anymore. Like the retro matte, it's horrible. The matte is something that I also don't like anymore. They're very drying, but again, for sentimental reasons, I keep them. So I do have most of those MAC, and then in the corner here I have a few drugstore, and then a random Estee Lauder, and then another MAC of a special collection. In the middle right there we have a little Invisi bubble to grab my hair or to tie my hair. I've got a little Dior lipstick that you just put in a refill, and then some more MAC, Revlon, NARS, and a little Charlotte Tilbury refill. So that's kind of like everything in the center. And then closing it a little bit so you can see better. Here we have, on the very bottom, you can't really see because there's lipsticks on top, but on the bottom of those lipsticks, let me move them, we have liquid lipsticks, which you can probably tell why I have them at the bottom. I don't use them as much. So in the very corner, I've got some Kat Von D, which were my favorite ones. And then we have some Sephora. Some really good ones, honestly, are the NYX. They're the matte lip creams. They're absolutely stunning. I love those. I have a ton of them. They start from here, go all the way over there. And then some random other liquid lipsticks. like Too Faced. And then on the top I have all of these lipsticks are not cruelty free, so I just keep them there kind of like hidden because I don't want to showcase them on my videos like I do on the background of my videos, like my Charlotte Tilbury or Lisa Eldridge. But they're still here, very old. Some of them are, the latest one that I bought was obviously like a year and a half ago, but they're still here. Again, I don't want to just get rid of them because they're cruelty free. They're not cruelty free. I'm gonna get rid of them whenever I just don't want them, or they're expired, or their color doesn't work for me. I do have to go through all of these lipsticks and declutter, but that's in general. I have to go through this drawer, but yeah, sometime in the future, not anytime soon. Let's move on to the second drawer, which is less exciting, but here we have my concealers and primers and powders. So this I've already decluttered, and I believe by the time you're watching this video is already up. So this is what I kept, and it's still looking a little bit messy, but that's just what we can do because of the storage situation. It's kind of a little messy as a general thing, but yeah, we've got some powders that are loose and then pressed, and of course concealers, my little fan that I use to dry my face whenever I'm doing my makeup, my mirror that you see all the time. This was an actual very special to me. This my grandma gave me when I was a little girl. She had it, so it was hers, and then she passed it on to me. I remember coming home to my grandparents' house whenever we would visit. I would run to her vanity, sit down, and pretend to do my makeup with this mirror. So that's just a very, very great memory that I will forever keep very, very close to my heart. So I love this mirror. And yeah, so all of the concealers, there's just like nothing too exciting. You've already seen in detail all of these products if you've seen my videos. If you haven't, I'll leave it, all of the declutters and collections that I have of each category, I'll put them down below, of course, in the description box. So whenever you open the drawer, this is where I store my highlighters and bronzers. So on this side right here, this is a long plastic container I got from IKEA. At the very front, I've got some highlighters, both liquid and pressed. I don't have a lot of highlighters. It is probably the least product category that I have, just because I don't justify having a lot of highlighters, because to me they all look the same and do the same purpose. So I don't really have a lot of them. I'll talk about this soon enough in more detail on a video specifically for my highlighters and my bronzers. And then on the very back of this same big container, I've got all of my bronzers. All of these are going to be pressed, I believe, with the exception of one that I have here by Tower 28, which is cream. The rest are only are gonna be powders. And let's close it a little bit more here. So here in the very first little container, not the big one, I have a mix of bigger palettes that don't really fit anywhere. So I've got a highlighter palette, we've got 3-in-1, so you've got that one from Tarte, it has blush, bronzer, and highlight. Then I've got my beloved Charlotte Tilbury little palette, so just random little things that are, well, not so little, that don't have any space. So also I have here a bronzer, and then I've got a Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Wand, and then an old L'Oreal product right here. So then whenever you open it, on the very back we've got more bronzers, just random. The majority are going to be cream, so cream bronzers, 2 from Fenty, a Charlotte Tilbury, and then a couple of pressed non-cruelty free here in the back. We don't talk about those. And then in the very back of the drawer, you can't really tell, but I keep this just hand towels, just very basic hand towels that I like to use whenever I'm doing my makeup videos, or whenever I'm just not even filming, but just doing my makeup in general. I like to clean my hands with towels. I don't ever use makeup wipes because it's super wasteful. I just clean my hands with towels and then they just go straight in the wash. Let's now move on with the fourth drawer. We're almost finished, and this one is probably another one of my favorites on top of the eyeshadow and the lipstick drawer. So this is my blush drawer. I love blush. It was one of the first makeup products that I fell in love with and I used religiously whenever I just got into makeup at like 14, 15. So here's what I have. On the very corner here, or on this side of the drawer, I have this IKEA big plastic container where I keep the majority of the blushes. So on the very front, I try to keep my cream products. So I've got a Charlotte Tilbury, 2 Merits, Rare Beauty, which I don't know why people don't really like this a lot. They always love on the liquid ones, but honestly I love them equally. So I've got 2 Rare Beauties that are liquid, and then the 2 here pressed that are also cream. The Merit, 2 Patrick Ta's, and then a Natasha Denona palette. And then on this corner, with the exception of this Charlotte Tilbury cream one, all of these ones all the way to here are my Tarte blushes. I am going to get a little sentimental here, and you might think I'm being ridiculous, but back in the day when I got into YouTube, watching YouTube, maybe like 12 years ago, I don't even know, I used to watch all these videos from like makeup storage with everyone having their IKEA drawers and full of all of the Tarte blushes, and I dreamed to one day own, not really the storage because no, but like all of those beautiful Tarte blushes, and here they are now, and that just makes me so happy. I've got a little chunk here that are minis from like holiday collections, and then this bigger chunk that are like regular sized. I don't use them as much anymore because I gravitate more towards cream products, especially blush, and also my beloved Charlotte Tilbury, which we'll get there in a minute. But yeah, and then on this section we've got this big chunk are going to be Milani and e.l.f. This was a drugstore. I do have a cream one just escaping here somehow. And then we've got Natasha Denona, e.l.f.'s, and then a couple of the also very famous, I'm talking about like 12 years ago, 10 years ago, Balm blushes. So I've got a good mix, another Milani back here of mostly, these are going to be mostly, the majority of my bronzers are powders, or blushes, I'm sorry. And then back in the very first little plastic component or container, I have 2 of them here. I've got an old e.l.f. palette that I honestly never use. I need to get rid of this. I need to declutter this week. I also haven't filmed this declutter. I've got a bunch of beauty blenders that need to be washed. Some of them are new. And then I keep here my 3 beloved Charlotte Tilbury blushes. This is the only ones that I have. And then a couple of mini Urban Decay and other brands of setting powders, and I do refill one of these with the Charlotte Tilbury. That is my favorite setting, not powders, setting sprays. And then back here I have a big chunk of non-cruelty free. So again, I don't recommend, and please do not buy, switch to cruelty free makeup. Okay, so we've got a couple of them here, and then also here we have powders, cream, and then my 3 very also loved Fenty Beauty blushes before I feel like all of the craze of the cream blushes started. Just a mix of everything, and then a little palette, oops, a little palette right here. On the very back of this drawer, I honestly have mostly junk back there. I have old brushes that are like kabuki sized, and just, I don't even know, I have to go through this drawer. And then some hair ties and hair clips. And then on this side, I have bigger palettes, just older, also from a non-cruelty free brand. And then this one is the Gwen Stefani and Urban Decay. And then a container that I really need to get rid of from Besame. But I thought it was so cute, so I didn't want to get rid of it. It came with the Marilyn Monroe collection. Super pretty, that's why I kept it. For the very last drawer, we've got a mixture of things, and I haven't decluttered just yet, so just keep that in mind. I have a lot of work to do with this drawer. In the very first container, I've got mascaras, high-end mostly, just a mix of high-end and drugstore, and a lot that are not cruelty-free that I haven't thrown just yet. I'm just waiting to like finish them up. And then back here we've got a mix of mostly eyeliners, cream, and the majority are gonna be pencil eyeliners. I've got some Mosquito, which are brand new. Thank you to Mosquito for sending over this beautiful eyeliners. I really love them. And then I've got a couple of eyebrow products, and then I have the remaining of my nail polish. I have to do another nail polish declutter, but I haven't just yet. So here is my nail polishes. Here is like a little baggie where I keep my nail stuff. On the back here I have my Lisa Eldridge, there we go, my Lisa Eldridge makeup pouches that I really love. You can tell I have a lot. I have more, but I've been using them for something else. I love Lisa Eldridge, and her collections of lipsticks are like the #1 collections that I look forward of anything released from makeup. And then on the very back I've got some Mosquito lashes that they sent over, and then just a variety of lashes. Oh my goodness, I'm making a mess. So just some more lashes here. I don't use lashes as often, but whenever I do want to go super extra glam, I like to have the option to not have to go out and find some, like to the store. I know that I have some here. And then here I have a big chunk of my mini mascaras. So I don't use them obviously as much because I have it full. I prefer to just go for a full size, but I don't want to throw them because a lot of these are brand new that I never even opened, so I just keep them to go over them. And again, I haven't decluttered this this drawer. We are ending this video with me sitting on the floor in front of my vanity. I know it was a long one, but I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. It is super easy. Just hit the little red subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye!